Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about cloud versus on-premise and also ADF versus SSIS and how it benefits any organization having cloud or on-premise or ADF versus SSIS. Let's talk about a cloud and on-premise first. Let's say when I first thought about cloud myself, I thought it would be very costly and it won't benefit the organization, and it will be tedious to use the cloud and talk about the data security and all those stuff. But as and when I started using the cloud, I felt it's absolutely false. Whatever my assumptions was completely wrong. It is one-stop shop for everything. You have a computer, you don't need a powerful computing process, a powerful computer. You just have a computer, you log into portal, any cloud, not only, I'm going to talk more about the Azure data factory, like Azure cloud, but I'm talking about in general, any cloud like Amazon or Google, um, or Azure, any cloud, it's just a web URL. Just log in into that and you have the whole world in just one URL. So what are the differences that I observed in cloud and in on-premise? So let's say I will give a detailed comparison about both. But before that, it's I'm going to next slide. Before that, I just wanted to give you an overview of that. So I just spoke this like this. So I'll go to the next slide. So let's give a detailed comparison about what is on-premise versus the cloud. So let's say what happens if you want, today I want to set up a like 10 machines, and I want to set up a VLAN, I want to set up Active Directory, I want to give logins to people, and how much time do you think to do that? I have to get in, like I have to go get license from VM, I have to go get license from Microsoft, I have to go here, I have to go there, everywhere. But in the cloud, I can just show you, it's just one click away. All right, it literally one click away. So if I log into portal.azure.com, it's just everything over there. If you could see, whatever I want, I have here. See, I have SQL database, I have virtual machines, I have load balancers, I have storage accounts, I have Active Directory, I have monitor, I have advisors, security center, everything at one particular place. Okay, I don't need to do any, I just have to work with Microsoft for getting things done, but it's again easy, but you can do on your own even without help of anyone. That's what I did by myself. So that's easy. It is. Equipment location. Do I need a location for equipment? Do I need a data center? Do I need more people to design a data center? Do I need an architect to do all the stuff? No, I don't. I would need an architect to do the analysis of what is required in the cloud, but but not as tedious as it is on site. Scalability. So let's say like many a times, mainly like when I work with SQL Server or any other database, it would be tedious for me when the server is working slower and I want to increase the number of cores of the RAM and all those stuff. So I had to go and ask, take permission, and if the RAM is not procured already or the cores are not available, it's tedious for us to just upgrade at that particular time. But in cloud, it's just one click away. It's literally one click away, and I just go and configure it, and I have new hardware. So let's say about integrations. It says limited integration in the case of on-premise, and in the cloud it is integrated very well. Yes, it is. Let's say like if a cloud provides hundreds of apps, which you just have to provide permission for each app to interact with the other app, rather than opening the ports, doing all those stuff, and giving the specific permissions, and I don't know, like what all things that you need to just integrate different things. So flexibility. So in both, like in the case of on-premise, um, the end user can work remotely, this statement, but in the case of cloud, anyone can, like let's say I want Cavs guy to work for me, then I can just call him and he can work. But in the case of what they say, like some people may not be able to work remotely actually. So let's say like I have another slide which gives detailed comparison about what's. So in the case of cloud, what happens, like so is there any money that you need to spend on the cloud? I have to spend a very little money, but in the case of on-premise, actually what happens, you have to spend a lots and lot of money. Let's say today I want to like I got a requirement to use a new tool, and someone said it performs very well and all the stuff. I can go to cloud, procure it, and I can just delete it if I don't require. But what happens in on-premise, like you have to procure a VM. That hardware will stay with you forever, and you have to procure a license. You have to work with the company for the trial license, and they say you have to pay this much, and you have to pay setup, configuration, all those stuff. So there's no hassle over here. You initially you just have to spend a little money, but it's not hassle. But maybe depends on the tool. You should be a little bit cautious on the cloud. You should not be like there is always a price calculator, and there is a pay as you go, or there is a reserve amount. So we should be a little bit mindful about uses of resources in the cloud when it comes to cost. When it comes to setup, how easy it is to set up. Let's say I want to set up a VM. I want to set up a VM, or I want to set up a SQL server in cloud. So I just go here. I just search for SQL server. Okay, and I click on the SQL server, and then bang, I just create the SQL server. That's it. That's damn simple. But how about on-premise? Like I have to go procure the license from the Microsoft. I have to see the version. Like you can, like in the case of cloud, they will be upgrading the versions by themselves, but we don't have that hassle. And here it's easy, because anybody, like let's say if I want to, this is the SQL server that I have. Okay, so let's say if I want to provide access, like here, look at the GUI, how good it is. Like you can go take backups, delete the databases, failovers, firewalls, everything at one particular place. I never get to see anything like this before. Look at this access control. I just have to click here, and then I just have to provide access to anyone who requests access to particular thing. That simple it is. So see, everything I would say pretty much easy. Like the thing which used to take days, or months, whatever. Let's say people today, I would say how about on-premise in the cloud. Like let's say I need a server for dev, I need a server for test, I need a server for production. So you go take the server and play around, and what you can do in the case of Azure, you can just delete. You can just delete it, and whenever you want it, you can just take the backup from the other database and restore over in the dev, and that's it, that you can use anytime. But how about on-prem? Now you can't do that. You can do, it's not easy because you have to open the ports anywhere and everywhere, and it's not easy for you to just delete and then keep. Once you procure the machine and it stays, the hardware stays with you forever, and you tend like you end up doing all those things, but yeah, it's that easy. Like you don't want to spend more, that's why I want to delete. Like you can just delete. Like you will be paying only for the usage time that you are using. Customization. So in the case of let's say cloud, greater consistency and stability, more vendor support for customization. So we'll be looking at working with the vendor, like we'll tend up more working with the vendor, but it's getting better and better and better every day. But in the case of on-prem, you'll be direct database access is possible, enable. So it is directly like you can access anything, but when like the hassle of you going to, like if something breaks or if something is not responding, moving it to failure and all those stuff, it will be hassle sometimes. But it's not now. Now things are a lot better. It's not a very much hassle even in the on-prem. So, but in the case of cloud, they say direct database is it is allowed. I don't say like it is not allowed, but it will be little bit when you want to do too much of customization on premise. It is easy, I would say. In the cloud, it will be little bit difficult, but you can work with the vendor, see how it goes. Maintenance. So I don't have to do any maintenance like patches, security, fixes, and everything uh, will be taken care by the vendor. I don't have to do any single thing like patches, fixes, supporting server, restart of the server. Even if I had to restart the server, I can just go here and then do even. I think it's that simple. I don't have to use hundreds of tools to go here, to go there, the monitoring, the alerting, nothing required over that. Security, it's in great control. Even in the cloud, in the on-premise, I would say people are a bit afraid about security on the cloud. No, it is not. Uh, I personally had a discussion with the Azure vendor. They said like I can just enable cloud in the VLAN that we use, or a VPN channel. So you don't have to enable outside. It's not that simple as we think about access to cloud. And the thing is, let's say security. Let's say like even the disaster recovery. Disaster recovery is particularly like taken care by the vendor, any vendor, and a restore is also like you can walk through them to restore